Hey, graduates. What's up? Hold on a minute. I gotta lock out the audience. Come in, I want everybody over here. So you understand? Give me 1 sec. This is a graduates only chit chat. Hold on. Da, 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 da. Listen to my son sneeze. Subscribers only. Custom duration. Bam. And bam. Yeah. There we go. All right. Good night, graduates. Good night. Good night. Good night. Let me go up and hail everybody. Portia Garrix, big up yourself. Good afternoon, wherever in the world you are. Live and let live. Happy holidays to you too. Andreen, big up yourself. Tia Tati, big up yourself. Hey Norma, what's up, my sis? How are you doing? Hope you're enjoying the season. Sandra Taylor, big up yourself. Paula Diedrich, hey, how you doing? Pottinger Naturals, happy holiday. Hey, my sis, child of God, as she says, as soon as you come on the live, please like it up. Please and thanks. Thank you, Norma. Okay. Erica, big up yourself. Kiki, what's up? Heather, how are you doing? Pi Gordon, hi, I see you. And Devani Walker, hello, hello, hello. All right. Oh, God. I don't know if we intend to keep doing this for 2026. And at what point are we going to evolve? But I am going to just say one thing because I've sat back and I've been silent and I've said nothing, but I have observed, I have listened, I have heard, if not directly from platforms, via other platforms, the things that are happening out here. Do you know, I remember a blogger had said that I had stepped away completely from discussions to do with Planker Shop and I was doing my own thing. And I was quite proud of that because I was not a failure at it. So it would have made more of an issue if I was, but I wasn't. Um, and I'd like you to understand one of the reasons why I choose not to discuss certain things because I find our people to be amongst the most ignorant, deceptive, aggressive people when it comes to discussing one person. And because not everybody can be reasoned with, I cannot operate on them vibrations. So I leave people to just do what they do because they can't seem to do anything else. But I have been observing the things that are happening around the minor, and it has irritated my soul. Yeah. And I'm trying to word this in a way that it's not going to hurt everybody, but it might do. And at this point, I don't really care. So if it does, so be it. We have a tendency as a people that when we don't like somebody, and this goes for everybody, we tend to draw for children and get them involved in our arguments. Time and time again, I've said, one of us stop it. But literally, some people are not above that and they cannot do any better. But what I'm going to say is that the involvement of children is not just about the people who attack children, it's also about the people who discuss children. You see, when we were doing the Justice for Jay movement, I gave the reason why I stopped and I came off it. And I will tell you again what that reason was. Because even though it did come from such man who know me cannot stand, who is the accused or was the accused, I went and I looked into what he said and I found it to be true. And what he had said was that the child was starting to get bullied as a result of what we were saying and the things that were being said, and the fact that the case was not being allowed to die a silent death. Now, while it is that I really wanted him to face his demons and to be held accountable, I was not willing to continue to do so at the expense of that little girl. Was not willing to do it. You understand? So, as much as it hurt me because me did want to see him go down, me not gonna lie. Because I know what I know. I had to put the child first. I had to put the child first. It was not for them, it was for her. So I came out and I said to my audience, I am stopping. It was not because of those interfering, meddlesome bloggers. Sis, you are texting me in the middle of the live. It was not because of those interfering bloggers that felt that they could tell me what to do, because none of them can tell me what to do. It was literally in response to the fact that the child deserved the right to move on. The child deserved the right to be free of condemnation, bullying, harassment, based on something that terrible that happened in that child's life. Okay? All right. So when I listen to platform holders speaking on something traumatic that has happened to a child, and if you notice, I am not saying any particular side, I'm saying everybody. Everybody. When I hear a traumatic experience of a child being recounted over and over again on social media, I see exactly why it is I pulled back from that Justice for Jay movement, because it's playing out in front of my eyes. But interestingly, when they're doing it, they don't see it. When I was doing it, they were quick to bail out. 9 times out of 10, it was because the views did a mad them. Nothing else. But regardless of all of that frivolity, there was truth in it. You understand me? So, I am going to say this. Each and every one of us out here have a responsibility to protect children. Each and every one of us. And while it is that we may not have liked to have heard about something traumatic. Hold on 1 second, guys, because I'm going to mute this phone. Right. While it is that we may not have liked to hear any reminders, any memories, any bringing ups of something traumatic that happened to a child, you are equally to be condemned if you continue to keep going at it and stoking the fire, claiming that you are acting on behalf of the child. Because while one may have been done out of empathy or out of concern and acknowledgement of fact, Others are being done out of admonition, scolding. And it's not being done in a way that is protective of that child's identity. Una call the minor's name. Una call up the minor's family members' names. Una not sign the child, una not anonymizing it, una not give a nickname, una just a ball out the picnic name. At least we said J and we never gave her full name out here. Una just out here a ball out the picnic name. Some of una even go as far as to have the picnic image. May not do his face, but it's still him on the page. Cause you're calling him name. I don't understand how it is that some of you don't understand how far-reaching social media actually is. Case in point, look at that one post I did about that callous healthcare worker on my Facebook page. Look how quickly it went viral. Look at it. Not even 24 hours. And within that time, they were pulling up her files. They knew her address. They knew where she worked. All of that. And all I had to do was post. So why is it that you think that a friend cannot hear? A friend's parent cannot hear. A teacher cannot hear. We are all in the diaspora. Even if you're in a big foreign. And some of you have got these things happening in your own families. And don't want the stain to be pulled across social media like this. Now, I know a lot of you are going to come out and say, but it is one person's fault because of that person revisit the memory. Fine. Notice I never set any boundaries or give any sides. Me say none of you no supposed to talk about it. We already heard. It must never be revisited. Allow the child to grow and to live his life. Because imagine, he's already in a small environment community, so to speak. Everybody that's supposed to know. Whoever's fault it is, them know. But the point is, we cannot be so insensitive and so cruel that we're going to take it as a case in point to beat somebody because we can't stand. Whether or not we can't stand how them communicate, how them talk too much, how this, how that, you cannot do that. Even if you're going to curse the person and say them chat too much, don't use the child to do it. Don't use the child to do it. He must be free to move on and to grow and to live. These things are very painful. Painful memories. And that is why I stopped with the Justice for Jay movement. That is why I stopped. Let us try to be conscientious. I know it is hard for some of you because your venom and dislike and scorn for one person supersedes your moral ethics. But I know that there are some of you who are not quite like that. even if you are biting the bullet at the moment. Some of you can see logic. You understand? You see, if it was a matter of saying, do, please don't talk about this anymore. Protect the child's image and his trauma. Then I would have nothing to say because that's true. Period. But for come out, I go down in a detail. I talk about family tree and all of that. That is not necessary. Uno don't want him to hold his head up high. And I know particular ones are doing it because their own children have been dragged through the mud by unscrupulous characters. That's why I'm in a genocide out here. I am aligned with nobody. Whoever I support, I do so on my own. But I am not in partnership with any blogger. You understand me? This is why they're doing it. You want them to feel the same pain that you feel when your own children were dragged through the mud. So it's a tit for tat, butter for fat situation. But for those of you who haven't had that experience and are buying out other people's agenda, be very careful. Retribution and karma is not something that is always inflicted by man. And when God decides to handle, there is no escape for anybody. It is an absolute disgrace that this is being used as a beating stick. You understand me? And like I said, many have been victim of it, regardless of whatever side. I have always condemned it. Always. But of course, my voice is not going to be heard that I'm condemning it. Yes? I have always condemned it. I find it ridiculous and hypocritical how some people come out and they're defending this, but they themselves are also guilty of doing the same. Guilty of doing the same. For 2026, all of you out here that do that need a overall and a change. If we not cuss each other as adults, do so. But when you start to reach for people's family members unnecessarily, then the gloves are off and people go low and lower. And this is not just a Jamaican thing, you know. People might think, oh God, are only Jamaican people disgusting. So actually, no. It's commonplace in the diaspora. It's just that a lot of you don't look over the fence. So they tend to just stick to a yard. You understand? But like I said, people, we have to protect them at all costs because there are people out here who are vipers, who are just looking for an opportunity and a reason to go for the woman's jugular. So they go for her heartstring. It's a can't catch quashi, catch them shot kind of situation. You understand? Now the lady has to be thinking twice about how to put out her child, if she should. just to protect him from cyberbullying. And that's not a bad thing. It isn't. Rule 101 when it comes to content creation and families. You're always warned about how you present your children online. Always. So in every bad thing, there is a good lesson. Do you understand? A good lesson. I remember I used to put up a lot of pictures of my kids. I was warned by another platform holder. I won't call her name. And she said, Kay, protect your family. Now the most you'll see is me and hubby. Me hide it. Me take down the pictures. And any picture will still exist when them young. No. You understand? Because people out here are very devious, very wicked, very evil. Them pray bad prayer, them burn bad oil for your condemnation, and they will pass it on to your children. Give you overwork in the spiritual realm to protect your family. The story does not ever need to be revisited by anybody. Nobody wants to grow up knowing that. It will cause trauma. It will lead to depression. It can cause serious emotional damage. And it isn't fair for anybody's child. You understand? No matter what I have ever had with anybody out here, I have never referred to anybody's family member in an argument. I don't do it. Yet many have come for mine. And those people, they know who they are. I will despise them to the end of the earth. Them know them cannot cross my path ever again. Because that is the one unforgivable sin. Once you do that, there is no respect for you. Because once I don't touch your family, you shouldn't touch mine. You could have cussed me. You could have called me big fat and sour. You could have ray. You could have tell me all kind of thing about me underneath. Right? Which is very good. Because I never spread around when I did young. So none of the things then what them say about me will hurt me. But you see, once you cross over into family members, there. You are the dirt under my shoe. No forgiveness. Period. No matter what, even you could have apologized subtle. You might as well don't bother. Because officially you're dead to me. Yes. So when you are doing these things, some of you are claiming that you're doing it for the person's own good. They will never respect anything you have to say once you have touched that heartstring. It makes you the lowest of the low. The lowest of the low. And I don't think some of you even love your own kids for you to even understand how painful it can be. If I tell my story, it is different from my enemy telling me my story. You understand that? My story is mine to tell. But when your enemy or somebody you perceive to be an enemy, because you're not a friend, especially if you deal with me certain ways, you're not a friend, recounts my story with venom, you are using it to hurt me, not to teach me a lesson. You are all using this story about a child to teach somebody a lesson, ignoring the pain the child can carry. It's evil, and there is no other way to describe it. And once you do it, there is no coming back from it. No coming back from it. The behavior out here over the past few days has been disgraceful. Not even on flipping Christmas Day could some of you rest. If it's one thing with me when it comes to the holidays, I enjoy my space. I am not here. I am not on this thing called YouTube. Flinging up a post here and there by Facebook, a quick sitting. Me gone again. Go enjoy my time. Some of you could not even rest how tormented your spirits are about one person. You understand? I'm not saying that people have to rest the social media. You don't have to be like me and rest social media. I'm not saying you don't have to do that. But for God's sakes, you couldn't give peace a chance just for 3-4 days and just do little content and enjoy life? Y'all couldn't do that? It could have been discussed in a different way. It did not have to go to this level. Now una turn pa una one another. Unnecessary. Make your point, fine. If you are saying don't revisit that, it's traumatic for the child, there's no argument there for me to defend or say anything about. Because I totally get that. But then it's crossed over into describing the anatomy of the pitney. The child's body. How does that become a topic? How? How many mothers are out there all of a sudden? How many of us when we were little look very different from what we look like now? Everybody has a phase and a time. It isn't right. It isn't right. And you might think that you are sticking to your guns and sticking to your point. And you expect silence from the other side, and you don't expect words to be thrown from the other side because your point is right. To be righteously indignant to the point where you sacrifice the integrity, the confidence of a child is not sensible. It's pure madness. And if I could have anything to do with it, you see, if I was head of PR, that story would never have come out in the first place. Because Una don't deserve to hear all of that. It should not have come out here in the first place. You understand? But still, it is the person's family and they chose to speak. To me, that story should have stayed until that child became an adult and wanted to share it. That is my perspective. That's my opinion. And I have said as much. But it's their family still. They chose to share it. Many times we have seen articles about things like this on in newspaper articles and stuff. And what do? They remove the identity of the child. They may talk about the story, how horrendous it is, but they either give the child an alias and they don't post the child's picture, or them not call the child name at all. You understand? Because they must be free to move on, to grow, to evolve, to leave their trauma behind. Decisions made by adults that had nothing to do with them. All of us make foolish decisions out here on social media. We all do stupidness at some point. Some of us learn from that stupidity. I say, no, Sam, and I repeat that. Not going there again. Some people hard to learn. Take them longer. Right? But don't, because una cannot stand a person. Una devalue on yourself so much that that is where una have to go. Exactly, Pottinger. It's painful to listen. And I'm like, no. You realize that each and every one of you out here in these social media streets have got something valuable that you can bring to the table. All of you. No matter how much you can't stand me and you can't stand on one another. We all bring something to the table. That if we were to ever use it for good, you'd be surprised how powerful you could become. Hmm? There is not one of you I have not heard the phrase from. She have to come down. Not one of you. All I want to say it. She have to come down. She must go down. Listen to that language. You know what you're saying? She's above you. That you're saying, you know? Because you cannot come down unless you're on a higher height. It don't work like that. Hey, Rosemary. It doesn't work like that. For somebody to come down, them after them on another level above you. And when it gets to that point, it sounds like vengeance, a vendetta. Whether or not you mean it, that is the impression that is given. What has this person done to you personally? Personally, me can't understand if there's been personal and them have worked through them issues. We leave that to time. But some of you have never had a personal interaction. If you say she don't know something so terrible, that you have to take this approach. There are social media personalities out here that irritate our souls. Some love them, some hate them. Like I know there is a whole split between who love Rosalie and who can't stand her. I can tell you this, I cannot stand Rosalie's behavior. But Rosalie personally, for me to say me hate Rosalie, I don't. I don't even know her. So I am not going to come out here and cuss her and go and this and that and dip up under her. No, because I don't know her. I don't like her choices. I don't like the things she says. I think she's not prioritizing her kids. That's my opinion. That's based on what she has presented. But to say that I hate a social media personality that I've not even been in the same room with or had a conversation with is crazy. But you see, Pottinger, even that in itself, that's so funny. There are 99 likes. Anyway, listen, that even that in itself, it just fuels fire. And because we know she's human, we facilitate it and we laugh and we see the banter and whatever, but it fuels fire. The cycle never ends. But on this occasion, I can understand if she was to come out and lash out and behave like a crazy person. That's her child. It may not be her child, but it is her child that she has chosen to love. And I don't know about Uno, but I will draw blood and take souls for my kids. And send myself to prison for life. For life. So if she, listen, you know how it must be hard to not come out here and behave like a virago after hearing, and I'm certain it hasn't missed her because I saw that prayer that she posted. So it hasn't missed her, you know. But you know how much strength it takes to not come out here and behave terribly in defense of your child. Do you know how hard that is? Why push her to that limit? Why? What is your intention? Why do you want to see somebody break? But forget her. Anybody who has had to go through that, why do you do it? Why do you do it? Many will start to argue and say, which came first, the egg or the chicken? And that person they go for the picnic first, so we go for feed them picnic. Okay, I hear you. All of it is wrong. All of it is wrong. When one blogger came for my sons, yeah, one blogger came for my sons. After using my live and cussing me on them platform, and then me do a live and cuss them back, and their status was addressing my sons. So what did they get? Them get a cartoon that changed them from a woman into a man. Yes. And then another blogger had the audacity to think that they could come and tell me off, saying, oh, you are supposed to not be body shaming people, and look at you turning that person into a man. And I just had to laugh because they see the reaction, but they don't see the cause. So I understand the chicken or the egg arguments. But notice, I never went for their family members. I dealt directly with the adults. Directly with the adults. It's disgraceful. All of it is disgraceful. That's why there are certain bloggers that will get my patronage and certain that won't. And when I originally start off saying that, you know what, I really like this person or whatever, and then I see their behavior devalue into things like this, that's HTK out. Out. Because I can't respect it. Whereas I don't give a damn about what adults do out here. When it comes to kids, I take it personal. That's my weakness. Nothing else. That is my weakness. When you come out here and you see me discussing Adriana Young, and you see me talking about Jay, and you see me talking about Jaden, it's not just about money for me. Because if it was about money for me, I'd depire every day. And honestly, when HDK take breaks, she takes breaks. It's become a feel it to my core. And I would want somebody to ride for my kids the way I ride for other people's. But the reason why I choose not to defend certain people when it's happening to them is because I see how disrespectful you people are. I see how you regard each other or how you switch on people, even when they were first on your side. When they say something you don't agree with, how you switch and start going at people and start cuss and trace. So I don't wallow in mud. No. But I will come on my platform and say, cursing people's kids are wrong. Doing that, wrong. Period. Period. And I don't care whose side it's on. And that's why them are going to hate me. Because I don't join. I don't join. Right? I am so happy now how I've taken myself away from several bloggers who started to irritate my soul. On Facebook, me a block some. Yes, some that claim that they're on Planka Shop side. Me block them. The ones who are not blocked, no, it's not them. The ones who are blocked will stay blocked. Because me say them a troublemaker. And I don't want to come out and cuss. So me say, you know something? Block. And that's for my peace and sanity. Because I don't want to see what you have to say. Hmm? If you're not going to come out and curse certain people about doing this, don't do it yourself. Start with yourself as an example. Do you know how laughable it sounds when I hear them cursing people say, yeah, cuss the little boy, right? And then them the same person when them a cuss, so them can cuss the little boy can just go so click and press while recording with them a cuss out for them own a pitney. You know how silly you people sound? For 2026, are we going to do any better? Are we going to be able to reason like adults? Are we going to be able to dissect people's lives without going for their kids? I know say it's gonna be hard pressed not to go for family members because suck your mother is like the number one slang when people get mad out here. But protect the babies. My God. Protect the babies. How hard is it? You all have beautiful children. All of you have got beautiful children. I have never disrespected any of them. Even if I can't stand the things you say. Even if I don't like how you behave. Never. You think if I was on the street in any of your neighborhoods and I see one of your kids or grandkids hurt, that I would step over that child because it's so and so pitney, it's so and so grand pitney? I wouldn't do it. Not to say that you guys would necessarily either, but I know some of you would. Me know say some of you would, because me hear some of you wish death, so you would do it. At some point, are we going to elevate our mindset beyond this? Make a point. Leave it alone. Don't use it as a beating stick, because that is a memory. That is trauma. That is a past that a child had no decisions made in. And I don't know about Uno, but I find it very, very embarrassing. Very embarrassing that my community specifically can't be exempt from this. I've spoken on it before. Scroll back. Then me leave on it to it because I just cannot seem to help going there. Certain platforms will never get my ear after I hear how they talk about people's kids. Them all are refer to sex talk with people's kids. Them the people that to me them sick. Mentally sick. You understand? But like I said, people, I just needed to come out here and say this because enough is enough now. Enough is enough. And I truly hope that 2026 can see different levels for different people. I don't expect all to be any different. Because no matter how some come out and they act as though they're trying to split justice and they're being better people, them fully capable and them will revert. Some of them just cannot help it because that's how they have to come out and do pot shots. They have to go for things like that. So I don't expect this message to connect to all. Some are unsalvageable and unrescuable. And that's why there's a heaven and a hell. Because some are bound for hell. Some of us are trying to rescue ourselves from it. And it's not a matter of who better than who. It's who know better, do better. You understand? That's the point for them. It's meant to hurt and cause pain, or because they cannot control. It's either to cause hurt or cause pain, or it's for others to feel the hurt and pain that they have also felt. I can and will acknowledge that. I can and will acknowledge that. But anyway, guys, like I said, I'm not going to stay long. I come and I make my point, and I'm going to leave it at that. And I'm hoping some people can actually, rationalize in the discussion, man. In a way that you not have to do the things them will not go on with right now. It's not necessary. And for those of us with these kinds of stories about our kids, be wise about sharing it out here. Because not everybody shows empathy. Not everybody will get it. Some people use it as a beating stick and a weapon. And no wonder why when my mother died, I never tell her no squat. It took a year. You wonder? Don't wonder. It's obvious. The cruelty and the evilness. Me telling you so that when I'm not ready for take it, tell me it no hurt. You understand? Protect your children out here. And that's all I'm going to say. Anyway, graduates, big up on a nice clean self. This is your girl, Head Teacher K, and I'm out. I probably won't come live again until after the new year. Because me, I actually live life. Bye.